Hello, my friends, and welcome. Welcome to another episode celebrating 1 year of YouTube, where I show you my collection. This episode will be about my Waterman collection, and you probably know if you've watched my reviews on Waterman that in the history of this great firm, there are two periods of time. I will start with the first period on my left, and we will end with the newer fountain pens in my right. So, guys, you must know that this firm was initially started in United States of America, and then approximately in the 1950s or in the 1960s, they stopped making fountain pens in the United States, and they focused more on their branch in Europe, in Paris, France. I will start with my oldest fountain pen in the collection. Of course, it is made in USA, New York. You can see this is a clipless fountain pen. It has these patterns on the hard rubber. You can see that the hard rubber has this patina of brown, which I love. You can also see almost on the barrel, it is quite faded away, but we have the initial imprints. So if you see Waterman and New York, it is distinctly you can see New York pen in New York, a patent number, and that's it. It is quite faded away. So this particular model is a Waterman 14. It is an eyedropper. It means it was filled by an eyedropper, or other times you can fill it with a syringe. It has this beautiful name, Waterman's Ideal New York number 4. This is a quite flexible nib. And guys, in the world of collectors, you must know that the early model, the Americans model from the 1920s, like this particular exemplar, are sought after for their flexible nib. A quite nice fountain pen. I will leave it aside. Let's put it here. And next, I have also a fountain pen made in USA. Waterman's registered US ideal patent of Commando made in USA. This is a nice model from the early 1940s. It was produced during the years of the Second World War, so early 1940s, from 1940 till 1945 approximately. It is a lever filler, a beautiful celluloid, and it has a gorgeous nib. And on it we have imprinted Waterman's Ideal Rigid 14 karat. And at the bottom, 5 made in, and I presume is made in USA. Quite a nice looking fountain pen. I like it a lot. Okay, let me close it. And now we move on in time with a gorgeous box. It is quite a rare box because I've searched it on eBay, and this particular model with these levers here and here, which opens like this, and you can hold it as a display on your office. It contains a set, and I think this is a mechanical pencil, and we will see it. But I want to show you the beautiful fountain pen. Let me see. Oh, sorry. I thought we had a screwed in cap. No, it's a pressure fit cap. This particular model is from the 1950s, and it is called Waterman Temperate Lady Garland. As you can see, we have these tendons of semi-hooded nib, likely inspired by the Parker 51, which had a great success in the 1950s. A strange looking filling system from the 1950s. This is a filling system from the 1920s, but you can see Waterman used it all the way to the 1950s. And this beautiful, beautiful pattern, like a chevron pattern, look at it, on the cap. Of course, a little clip for the ladies, and it is quite a nice looking fountain pen, very similar to the Parker 51. And let us have a look also at the pencil, I believe it is. Okay. Or maybe a ballpoint. I'm not, I don't know for sure. I'm not an expert in these things, but quite a nice matching writing instrument. Let me see. Judging by the diameter of this hole, I think it is a mechanical pencil. Let's put this back. And on the box, it came with the original instructions to get best results for Waterman pens and pencils. Let me see. How to fill Waterman pens. Waterman's Temperate pens and some standard models have lock slip caps. It is referring to the pressure fit system. Your Waterman's pencil and study this diagram. Okay. Okay. So it's a mechanical pencil. I love this set from the 1950s and especially the presentation box. Okay, let's leave this aside and let's move on. For the space on my office, I won't start in chronological order. I will start with this box first, and then we will move on to the others. And this box contains a quite nice fountain pen. It is the Waterman Expert 1 fountain pen, the first version of this fountain pen. It is all made of plastic but with beautiful metallic gold trims. The Expert 1 was all made out of metal. It has this wonderful, unique looking nib. And you can see it is a two-color nib. On the sides we have a gold plating, and in the middle it is a simple steel finish. I love that interesting breathing hole that looks like a plastic cap, black, you can see it. And of course this is a steel nib, two-tone nib. On the back we have the M, the size of the nib. And I believe this has also an ink converter. Let me see. Yes, we have here the original Waterman made in France ink converter. You can use also ink cartridges with this model. Okay. Usually this box comes like this and you can pull it off here, and usually here are the instructions how to use the pen. So I will put this aside, guys, and I will continue with another Waterman Expert 1, and here are the original instructions I was talking about. This is in a beautiful green. Look at it. Quite a nice fountain pen. The same, this is plastic, so this is Waterman 1 version. The Waterman second version is made out of metal, like I've told you. Let us check out the beautiful nib. You see, the same looking nib. Quite a nice nib. I like it a lot. I like the design of this fountain pen a lot. Let us check also the instructions to see what... So in different languages it shows us how to fill the pen, how to clean the pen, how to use the ballpoint pen, and the warranty. Yes, the warranty in different languages. Sorry guys, let me put this back. And here I have another Waterman in a different looking box. And here I have the Waterman Kultur Deluxe. So it looks like a Waterman Kultur, but it has some gold trims that separate it from the other Waterman Kulturs. It has this beautiful, gorgeous looking nib. Unfortunately, not a gold nib, but quite a beautiful steel nib with a quite well gold plating, as you see. It stood the test of time. This is a pen, I believe, from the 1980s or the 1990s, so it's in immaculate shape. Okay, guys, so now we are at the last fountain pens, and yes, I think that they are all made in France, so no more American models. And I will start with this ballpoint pen. Quite a nice ballpoint pen. You push it on the back, and you can see you can operate it, of course, with the clip, which is specific to Waterman, with this gap in the middle of it. We will see this trait also on fountain pens. This is a quite slim ballpoint pen, and I believe it's from the 1980s or the 1990s. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the exact name model. Maybe you know. I searched on eBay and on other sites, but I didn't find the same characteristics as this ballpoint pen. So it's quite a mysterious ballpoint pen, but judging from the design and from the slim look of it, it's from the 1970s, 1980s, or early 1990s. Let's put this aside and let's move on. I have two fountain pens, and they are both Waterman laureate. But what happened? It is quite easy to remove this part from the original, and someone, I believe, lost this part at the ending of the barrel, and it they put this synthetic crystal. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this fountain pen has a system of removing this part, and I'm not so sure why they did this, because usually all the fountain pens have this part closed. You can't remove it. This is metallic, and this is a plastic part. Quite easy to remove, but quite easy to lose. And this, I think, this is the reason why the previous owner opted for this replacement at the back. So you can see it is quite a large fountain pen, and I believe this can use only cartridges, but this because of its size, it could fit also a converter. So I give you the Waterman laureate. Okay, let's put this aside, and I have a more modern fountain pen, and by the way, you can find this in your store. It still is on sale. The defect on this one is that it has this band clip. Maybe I can bring it back to the original position. By the way, this is a Waterman Graduate Chrome finish. A plain steel nib, quite a nice nib. And I don't know, I don't remember if it comes with converters, but yes, you could use converters or ink cartridges. And I'm not so sure if they are proprietary Waterman ink cartridges or not, or standard international ink cartridges. But when you buy it, you should ask the seller the proper cartridges to refill this beautiful and affordable fountain pen. I think this is the cheapest one in the whole bunch, so quite a looker. Okay, let's put this aside and let's move on to the Waterman Preface Romance. You could see this beautiful fountain pen. It has an 18 karat gold nib, and I want to show you that gold nib, but it had a little problem. The grip, the interior grip side of the nib was glued to this part, and I sent it to a friend of mine, and I believe this is winter time, and because of the different temperatures in the transport of this fountain pen, the glue it peeled off or something like that. So I need some pliers to hold this feed and retract it from the cap, and maybe I will do this right now. Let me pause the video. And okay guys, I have returned and I have prepared a scissor and those. I'm just trying to see if I can. Let me show you. Why not? Let me show you. Why am I am doing this right now? I want to share with you the beautiful, beautiful 18 carat nib. Okay, I've managed. Oh, I hope I didn't damage that tube. So guys, I wanted to show you that Waterman can do also gold nibs. And look at this beauty. It is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Waterman Paris 18 karat 750. I think you know from my channel that if you want to sell a fountain pen in France or in Switzerland, and you want to advertising like with a gold nib, you must use only 18 karat gold nib, because the 14 karat gold nib is considered inferior gold. Well, I'm not so sure that they treat it as gold. And indeed, the 18 karat gold has, like you see here, 750 or 75% gold in its content. And indeed, the 14 karat gold, you see 585, it contains approximately 58% gold. So quite beautiful nib. Indeed, a small nib, but a beautiful, beautiful nib. So guys, after all my efforts, I will leave this like it is. And practically, I want to show you. So I love the fact that we have metal on metal. So this Waterman Preface Romance, it's quite a well-built fountain pen. So guys, practically this was inside here, okay? And it fits, and it was secured by a little glue. And you can see the glue marks. Let me zoom on it. You can see the marks of glue. You can see here. It was secured. This piece was secured to the grip section, the inner grip section, with some glue. And I think I will apply some, not glue, but shellac. Don't use the glue because you ruin fountain pens. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. So use shellac. I will leave also the Waterman Preface aside. A wonderful, wonderful metallic fountain pen with this gorgeous, gorgeous blue finish. Another product of Waterman Paris. And we are down to the last two models. And I will start with this gorgeous, gorgeous fountain pen. It is an iconic fountain pen from Waterman's, and it first saw the light of day in the 1950s in the United States of America. But this model is a model made in France, and maybe you've guessed it, we have here a Waterman CF, a later model from the 1979 in this gorgeous gold with the pattern called moire. And let me show you. So this was Waterman CF because it was the first fountain pen that used cartridges. So quite a big step in the history of fountain pens. The first fountain pen that used cartridges. Of course, there were other fountain pens in the 1940s that used glass cartridges, but the Waterman CF from the 1950s is the first successful, widely successful commercial story. and they used, I believe, cartridges made out of plastic and not the fragile ones made out of glass. I will leave this aside. And guys, this is my latest acquisition. This is a luxury fountain pen. You can see the beauty of it. This is the Waterman Karen Standard Black Sea. And from all the variations, because when you need to find a fountain pen that has lots of materials, of colors, with the same design, just check out the variants of the Waterman Karen, and you can see the variants of Waterman Karen in my review of this Waterman Karen. The beautiful selling point and attractive point to this fountain pen is this nib that is like integrated in the body of this beautiful fountain pen. Again, 18 karat 750 Waterman. On the back, this integrated feed in the body. We have a breathing hole, and above it we have the size of the nib. Guys, this is a wonderful fountain pen, and I surely recommend it. Of course, it isn't cheap. It isn't at an affordable price, but look at it. It is wonderful in every sense. So, this was my last fountain pen from my collection. I simply love this brand of Waterman. Some have, some prefer the Watermans of USA, the vintage ones that were produced till, I believe, late 1950s. But some of us prefer the new ones that are made in Paris, France. And they make some fine writing instruments. So guys, this was my episode of the Watermans. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel to see other wonderful writing instruments from my collection. Wherever you are, I wish you to have a nice day. Remember, if you want to see how these fountain pens write, they all have their reviews on my channel. So if you are curious to see how they write, you can visit my old videos. I will see you again at the next episode. Till then, bye bye.